This is an Evergreen Media Network production. And now, it's time to put you on the spot with EGM.
Hello and welcome to On the Spot with EGM. I'm Jesse Krisky, and the Vero Beach Air Show is right around the corner. Joining us today to talk about the Vero Beach Air Show is the Blue Angels liaison, Jeff Devlin. Hey, Jeff, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Jesse? Glad to be here. Thanks for hosting me.
Yeah, great. It's great to have you here. We're all excited for the Vero Beach Air Show coming up May 3rd, May 4th, May 5th. Jeff, you're the Blue Angels liaison. What does that entail? What does the Blue Angels liaison do?
Sure. So the Vero Beach Air Show has a board of directors. They're all volunteers from the community like myself, and we all have different roles as a president, a vice president. People have different roles like logistics or handle all the volunteers, or they do the finances for us. So my role is specifically is the Blue Angel liaison. So I work with a team. Believe it or not, we started this not long after the 2022 show. So it's about an 18-month planning process. Obviously, the tempo picks up as we get closer, but it just there's a lot of kind of paperwork, different forms you have to fill out, and giving them information about the town. A lot of it is they come in the winter. If anyone out in town remembers the number 7 jet back in December, number 7 and number 8. They came to visit us just to kind of take a look at Vero, look at the runway and all the different facilities in town where they're going to be staying at the hotel. So I dealt with that. And then it's really just about preparing for their visit. There's a lot that goes into it. They need a lot of support equipment. They stay in a hotel in town. They use the gym. Vero Fitness is very generous in allowing the Blues to work out over there. So it's sort of a collaborative effort on our part to put the show together. And my segment is the Blue Angel liaison, just dealing with the team, making sure they have everything they need when they show up. On Wednesday, May 1st is when number 7 jet shows up.
All right, so the number 7 jet shows up Wednesday, May 1st, and I always say there's no advertising for the air show like when the jets actually fly over the city, and that's what really gets everyone excited for the air show. Oh man, these jets, they're rumbling my house, they're shaking everything, and it is amazing. There's no advertising like it than looking up and seeing those jets flying overhead. So what happens on the Wednesday before the air show when they come to town?
Sure. So Wednesday, it's just the number 7 jet. So number 7, Lieutenant Connor O'Donnell, he's the number 7 pilot. He's a pilot, and he'll become number 6, and then he'll be would be number 5 if we're fortunate enough to have an air show in 2026. So that's how the progression is. So his call sign is Buddy. So Buddy is the narrator for the 2024 season. He will come with his crew chief, who basically takes care of his airplane on Wednesday morning. So you'll see them coming about 8:30 in the morning. They'll come in. The first thing they'll do is both Lieutenant O'Donnell and his crew chief, they'll inspect all of the ground support equipment that we have. I'll take Buddy out to the airfield. I'll show him all the there's marking points for the show that they used for timing, etc. We'll show him where they're going to be parked, all the fencing and the crowd lines. And it's sort of a final quality assurance check by both Lieutenant O'Donnell and his crew chief to make sure everything's ready for the team. Then what they'll do at 12 o'clock, number 7, Buddy, will fly what's called a key influencer. It's one we have a couple nominated. We don't know who's going to be selected yet, but they're going to go for a backseat ride in F-18, which is quite the fun ride. So that person will go. It's someone from the community that does a lot for either children or has an interest in aviation, or just kind of a good person from the community that helps either veterans or children or aviation type related activities. So when they get back, then they'll take what's called the media rider up, and that is going to be, we haven't identified the person yet exactly, but it's generally a TV personality from either up north in Orlando or down south in West Palm, and they'll bring their camera crews, they'll go for the ride, and they'll do the feature that you've probably seen for air shows. It just kind of to promote it, and it gets it out to the area that's happening, the air show's happening. So that's Wednesday. And then we'll take Buddy out for dinner. The board will take Buddy out for dinner on Wednesday night, because it'll just be he and his crew chief. And then Thursday is so you will hear some rumbling on Wednesday.
All right.
Both the arrival in the morning and then roughly the noon and the 1 p.m. Backseat rides. You'll hear the one jet going in and out. So you will see some activity on Wednesday.
All right.
But the big day in the morning, The C-130 flown by the all Marine Corps crew on the Blue Angels, affectionately named Fat Albert. So that C-130 will come in first. They'll get all set up, make sure all the gear's ready, and then the arrival of the other 6 airplanes, Blue Angels 1 through 6, will arrive all together in a formation of 6 and do a pretty dramatic pitch-up arrival. It's pretty fun and exciting to watch. So that'll be mid-morning on Thursday.
All right.
Okay. And then the same thing, they sort of all we bring them to Piper, where their Piper aircraft is generously hosts them to give them where their briefing spaces are. So we'll show them the briefing spaces, all the enlisted Marines that are going to ride in on Fat Albert will get all the gear ready. They'll get all their spaces ready where the jets are going to park. They have equipment for all the airplane and parts that'll be on the C-130 that they'll have to unload. So kind of a beehive of activity on that Thursday morning.
Yeah.
And then you're going to start to see blue jets in the sky at roughly 12 o'clock. So the Diamond, just the number jets 1 through 4. I'm glad to tell you what those all are if that's helpful.
Please do.
So the boss is number 1. He's the lead, always up in the front. The right wingman is number 2. The left wingman is number 3. And number 4, who's Lieutenant Commander Amanda Lee, who's the first female Blue Angel pilot. She's in the slot position this year, which is Blue Angel number 4. And that, if you remember seeing the Diamond, it's the one in behind 1 in most of the formations. And then the solos are 5 is a lead solo and 6 is the opposing solo. If you've been to a show, you'll see where they do a lot of high-speed dynamic passes, where the Diamond shows a lot of precision and how they can fly so close together with such accuracy. That kind of shows, that's kind of highlighted in the Diamond. And then the solos really show the high-performance characteristics. A lot of high-speed, high-G maneuvering goes on by the solos. And then, of course, Lieutenant O'Donnell's number 7 as a narrator. And if you come to the show, you'll hear Buddy talking throughout the show, narrating the show.
Awesome.
So at 12 o'clock, just the Diamond goes up to practice. And you think about it too, only one of them has been to Vero. So number 5, Lieutenant Commander Griffin Stengel, he was our number 7 in 2022. So I've become friends with Griffin, just a great American, great pilot. So he is now number 5 as the lead solo. He's the only one in the team that's been here before. So the Diamond goes up and they're just kind of checking out the area, looking at different checkpoints. They'll fly for about an hour and then they'll land. And then number 5 and 6, the solos will take off. They'll do a practice just on their own. Again, they're flying a lot individually. They're checking out all the different points that they use to re-enter the airspace to come toward the crowd lines. And they're just kind of getting all their visual reference points in there. Believe it or not, it's a lot to do with timing and visual points to make it look so precise on the ground when they arrive. Right. So just a lot goes into that. So they're doing sort of those kind of flights, getting familiar with the airspace and all the different ground points. And then they land. They all will debrief and then brief again, and then they'll do an entire practice show at 3 o'clock on Thursday. So you can see a lot of activity on Thursday. So they'll do a full show. There's no crowd there. It's not open to the public. They're just kind of doing it for themselves and to get ready and to kind of practice in the Vero area.
Yeah, and to learn those lines that you've pointed out.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And so they'll be using all that. So that's Thursday. So big day on Thursday.
Big day, Thursday, May 2nd. That's when they all come to town and the skies will be buzzing and we'll all be excited for it. All right. Jeff, you have a military experience yourself. How is your military experience played out as your role now as the Blue Angels liaison?
So, great question. So I was actually in the Marine Corps. So I retired as a lieutenant colonel after 22 years in the Marine Corps, and I also served as an F-18 pilot. So I flew what's called the Legacy Hornets, which is the A through D. This is the E and the F. So jets 1 through 6 are the E or the Echo model. And the F is the 2-seater. That's called the Super Hornet. So I flew the earlier legacy version of the F-18. So just know a lot about the airplane. So it does make my job a little bit easier. Mm-hmm. On a personal level, it's really fun because I get to kind of relive my past life with all the pilots, and it kind of rekindles all that those kind of thoughts. And they're just great people. They're just great Americans to work with. So I really enjoy my job, and it kind of brings me back to what I used to do.
Very good. Well, we're glad you were in the role as Blue Angels liaison. And I noticed you have Jeff Jungle Devlin on your shirt as your nickname. Care to discuss your nickname?
Yeah, so all naval aviators, both Navy, all the Blue Angels have call signs, and so we all have call signs. Mine's actually classified, so I'll have to discuss that at the bar with you after the show. If that's okay.
All right. If you told me on the air, you'd have to kill me, right? Yeah. All right, very good. Jeff Devlin, Blue Angels liaison. We are all excited for the Blue Angels coming to town. The Friday night show is May 3rd, and that's from 6 to 8:30, and we have the Saturday and Sunday shows, May 4th and May 5th, 9 a.m. to 4. Get your tickets at VeroAirShow.com, or if you're watching this online, you can just scan that QR code in the bottom there for the tickets. And don't forget the Food Fest on Saturday night, May 4th. It's actually starts at 4 p.m., and that's at the Oaks at Riverside Park. That's free entrance. And that's a lot of fun because you can go and you can meet the Blue Angels right there. And so get your tickets online for the air show, VeroAirShow.com. And this is all volunteer run, so I don't want you to just, park on the side of the road and watch the air show. Come support the air show. Get your tickets online, VeroAirShow.com. All right, Jeff, we're all excited for the air show. Is there anything else you want to discuss before we have to take off, so to speak?
No, I just wanted to emphasize what you mentioned. Our Friday night show, if anyone went last in 22, it's going to be even better. We're going to have fireworks. We're going to have a wall of fire, an A-10 attack demo. So come out on Friday night as well. This is going to be a fantastic show. It's going to end in fireworks. And then, as you mentioned, Under the Oaks, 5 p.m. is when it starts on Saturday night. And that's just a lot of fun. You get to stand next to the Blues and talk to them. So the Blue Angels love that, are Under the Oaks. So I'd highly encourage you to come out to that.
Yeah, it's a great time. We're going to have a great time at the Vero Beach Air Show, May 3rd, May 4th, May 5th. Get your tickets at VeroAirShow.com. All right, Jeff Devlin, thank you very much. Blue Angels liaison. We'll see you at the air show, Jeff.
Great, thank you very much.
All right, thanks a lot. Everybody take care. This is the Evergreen Media Network. I'm Jesse Krisky on the spot. We'll see you at the Vero Beach Air Show.